We're going to start in just a couple minutes. There's one last wave of people coming up right now in the elevator, and once they arrive and get settled, we'll get started. I apologize for the delay. There's just a lot of people tonight that want to see Adam and the team, so just bear with us, please. Thank you. We're going to get started. Thank you for your patience. I mean, it's always an adventure putting these events on, and every time I do it, I ask myself why I do it, and I kind of tell myself I'm not going to do it again, and here we are. But thank you for coming, and it's a good turnout tonight, so we're quite pleased, and I'm sure the team from Google is. So welcome to another installment of the Glasscube Freelancers and Entrepreneurs Speaker Series. Tonight is a special event not only because we have the Google team here presenting, but also because this is a kickoff for Glasscube's newly formed partnership with the French Business Group. This partnership is an extension of the Glasscube learning platform, which will be tailored for the French Business Group and affiliated business community. So we're excited about that, and I look forward to a productive collaboration with FBG going forward. I also want to thank Bogdan and OVN, the guys in the blue t-shirts over there, for volunteering to video and live stream this event. So if you have any friends that couldn't make it, you can send them a message. They can watch it live on the Glasscube Facebook page. Let's see. Okay. So some of you may have read my recent blog post on the failing local startup ecosystem. It's received several thousand reads over the past couple of weeks, and which kind of, it caught me by surprise actually that it was that popular or unpopular for some people. And if you haven't read it, go to the Glasscube website, to the blog section, and take a read and share it. But most importantly, for me, I'd like you to, if it resonates with you, then do something about it. Because when I wrote that, I really wrote it out of emotion. And I'm going off my notes now. But I wrote it because we had held an event with Google for Entrepreneurs, and ADGM, which is the financial regulator in Abu Dhabi, and Temenos, which is a fintech API. But we did an event here on December 8th, the FinTech Hackathon. We had a huge turnout, 100-something people, 10 teams, fantastic talent. We canvassed a couple of the major banks in Abu Dhabi, and there's not that many, so you can guess who they were. And everyone declined to participate, to sponsor, to even show up and act as a mentor. And I was so disappointed with that response to what we had done. And one of the people that I was talking to had on her business card, or on their business card, it's head of innovation. And so, to me, if you have head of innovation on your business card, then you better get out of bed and innovate. At the very least, come to an event like the one that we had, take some notes, network, shake some hands, identify some talent, and contribute to diversifying the ecosystem rather than just collecting a paycheck and having that title on your business card and actually not doing anything. And that you can tell I'm quite I'm very passionate about it because it's just very irritating to see people and hear people talk about innovation and disruption and all of these, fluffy catchphrases, but then when you have the opportunity to do something, they don't do anything. They just sit there and they're paralyzed in a myopic state of atrophy because they don't actually deserve to have the job that they are being paid to do. And so that's why I wrote that blog post. So I'll go back to my notes. Otherwise, who knows where this will go. And I apologize if I was overly passionate there, but it's, anyways, okay. Okay, so the point that I was trying to make with that blog post is that when it comes to commercial issues in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, the private sector has to be proactive. The private sector has to lead by example. And once the private sector demonstrates viability of an objective, then the policymakers here can follow. The policymakers here then are given the tools and the perspective to deliver the right framework to further everyone's agenda. And what I mean by that is the government themselves are not going to do it, right? UAE, the US, the UK, government by itself will never legislate in a way that is favorable to the private sector without guidance. So the private sector has to guide. So imagine that, so for example, tonight, this is our 8th installment of this speaker series that Glasskeep hosts. Tonight, I think we've delivered a very, very special evening for you with the Google team that's going to talk to you about things that I think are relevant to everyone here that is in a small or medium or large enterprise endeavor. So imagine if the institutional private sector got behind it and was doing something that Glasskeep was doing, like the excitement that would generate, the energy that would inject into the local entrepreneurial ecosystem would be off the charts. It would immediately turn Abu Dhabi into a nexus for idea exchange and entrepreneurship. Like, look at the turnout we have here tonight. This is Glasskeep. I mean, I'm a small business owner, trying to make a living running a co-working business center, and look at the fantastic turnout we have from the community today. So imagine if one of the big institutions tried to do something similar. It would be off the charts. So the way it would shape the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Abu Dhabi would be amazing. So that's what I hope that, if we all make enough noise, we can kind of get people to fall in line and work together on this. Thank you. Well, that's a great segue. I'd like to, it's my pleasure, oh, sorry, no. I have 2 more things. I've been asked to make a plug, and I'm sorry I don't have the details memorized, so I'm going to have to pull it up from the folks at Flat 6 Labs. They are running a hackathon called Get in the Ring on Feb 28th, and in partnership with Abu Dhabi Global Markets, and it's a competition with 2 tracks. One is general for all industries, and the other is a fintech track. So for those of you that, if that doesn't make any sense for you, it's a coding hackathon with fintech and a generic track. And the winner on each track will get a ticket to the global final in May in Singapore to compete with other startups from around the world. The deadline is Feb 15th. So you can talk to me, or you can go directly to the folks at Flat 6 Labs to apply. And then I want to give the mic quickly over to Robin. She's the program director at NYU Start AD, which is an incubator that NYU Abu Dhabi is running, and she's going to tell you about what they're doing as well.
Hey. So I know some people here. I'll try to keep it brief and short because I know you all came for Google, not for me. So Start AD is based out of New York University, Abu Dhabi, and it's a brand new entrepreneurship platform that launched in September of last year. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about our incubator program that applications just opened in January. So we're looking for early stage startups, local and global. They can be coming from anywhere in the world. And we'd bring them here and we'd work with them for a period of 12 weeks. and we'd give them some basic seed investment up to $60,000, some mentorship and support, as well as a rigorous training program to keep them on track in building their companies to eventually launch in the UAE and the greater MENA region. So that's the incubator in a nutshell. And I want to echo what Bernard was saying about getting corporate involvement too, because that's the premise of our incubator, is trying to get the private sector looking to innovate through startups. So we're working with the local regional corporates to connect startups with the corporates. So it gives startups a great opportunity to get a leg up with the first corporate partner so that they get to test the viability of their product. And then corporates in turn, they get to innovate quickly through startups on some of their key core challenges. So it's industry-wide. We're not focusing on any specific sectors, but we do want to foster local growth. So we're looking at industries that are growing and strong in the UAE, which is pretty broad right now. I mean, e-commerce and digital is pretty well known, as well as aviation, logistics, fintech, healthcare, among others, and transportation and clean energy. So the list goes on, but we're really trying to foster that linkage. So if you have any questions, I'll put some cards over at the front if you want to pick it up, and you can check the link to check in, and also get in touch with StartAD if you have any other questions. So thanks, Bernard, for having me. It's great to see this turnout and some familiar faces from our class that we just ended a few weeks ago. So I'll hand it over to Google now, or let Bernard.
So we're just going to let some of the new arrivals sit, and then I'll introduce Adam. Okay. So it's my pleasure to introduce you finally to Adam Kwasniewski. Did I pronounce it right? Head of SME marketing at Google. Adam's been with Google since 2005 and in MENA since 2013. And with him is Munya Hatem. Munya leads Google's MENA business development effort out of their Dublin HQ. So please help me. And I'm sorry, I think Adam's going to introduce the... So can we give the Googlers a round of warm applause?
Thank you very much and welcome everyone. Happy 2017. Let's do a quick kind of audience checkpoint. I sense the good vibes from that area. The audience in the first rows is with me. The back, are you here? Yes, thank you very much. And for those of you who are standing, I have a special request. If you can spare a couple of claps at the end, I would be able to claim a standing ovation. So I count on you. And guys, thank you for having us here. I must admit it's a bit challenging situation, because usually when we are speaking at the events or organizing events, we generally know who or what are we speaking about, right? We have no clue about who you are, because in the way that we're registering, right, we don't know your industry, we don't know your product interests. So it's a bit more challenging. Let me actually understand a bit about you. So who of you works in the marketing department or in the private sector? If you can raise your hands. A handful of you. Which ones of you do work in some digital agencies? A couple of you, okay. Startups, entrepreneurs. Yes, thank you very much. Especially the crowd there. Government entities, chambers, organizations, NGOs. Any students? Hi. Journalists? Other? What is other? Investment. Oh, the big money is here as well. So welcome, guys. So when we were discussing with Bernard, we offered a couple of topics, and from his point of view, he suggested that we start with some kind of gaps of the utilization. So what businesses are not doing or fail to do, right? Which was the initial. And how do we what as a Google can we do to help them, right? I work for Google for 11 years, and we have this saying that every year we try to keep hiring smarter and smarter people. So I brought a couple of people that joined Google after me to make sure if you have difficult questions, there are some people that can handle them. Right, so I joined in Poland. I was having too many roles at Google. Munya is, as Bernard mentioned, like a business development consultant, right? So I will be covering those opportunities, gaps, user trends. Munia will share first-hand experience of how how to work with us, what can we do to help your business. Together with me, there is also Richa. That works with me in marketing. So if any of these thoughts inspires you, you would like us to to follow up, to get in touch, or you have completely different expectation and question, Richa has some forms, fill it in, and we will try to address your specific question separately. And together with us, Salim, who recently joined our office in Dubai, and he runs the developer relationship, engaging with developer communities. So if that topics are close to your heart, make sure you say hi, introduce yourself to Salim, right? But the first topic, well, and sorry, I couldn't resist, when I typed in a Google image search, the glass, cube, and entrepreneurs. So this is the quote and the picture that I got. And Mark Cuban, he's actually one of the, jury members of Dragon's Den. And I think that, when I was thinking about in topics and the agenda of the presentation, it was partially about this empty part of the glass, but it's also about opportunities, right? So what many companies here in the region are missing from the user trends in the digital space, for some might be an opportunity, right? Paradox is that if all of this stuff that I will show your company, your business is already doing, it's a huge success. Right? So if my presentation is completely not ticking any boxes, it means that tomorrow in the morning you should walk into your boss' office, if you have a boss, and just ask for the raise because you are spearheading, right, the MENA digital ecosystem. On the other hand, if you already are doing that and you know that there are several other businesses that fail to do it, maybe it's a business opportunity for you as well. How to enrich your business model to, to potentially address this gap. And then another point, if you see that in some of these areas you are kind of fluent, experienced, and you potentially can operate at scale dealing with various other businesses, we are also looking for various reselling partners, or if there is anything that really kind of is core to your business, also talk to us, and we will see if there is a closer collaboration opportunity. So generally, to set up a scene, and I don't wanted to give you just too many stats, but to set up a scene, we are there are users, right? All of us. So generally, people in United Arab Emirates, everyone is online. That's fine. But what we are doing, right? And I identified 4 major components, right? From the user perspective, once we are online, first of all, like most of us here, I guess everyone seeing by the kind of the phones that you're raising, everyone has a smartphone, right? So there is a mobile component. Secondly, mostly we use those devices to search the world around us, right? To find a restaurant, to check opening hours, to perform various activities, discovering world around us. The third point, we are using that, to help with our purchasing decision. If we are buying anything, service, product, right, it really helps us to find out more information. And of course, entertainment, right? So, most of us, the YouTube, the video consumption is super heavy, right? So this key user trends, let's go to the next slide. I really want to discuss them from the business point of view, right? Users are there, demand is there. Every one of us is performing the specific activities online, right? And actually, in most of them, Middle East or Gulf or general UAE is really far more advanced than many, European, Western European markets. And I will be showing you those examples in detail as well. But then, from the business's point of view, they are not really addressing many of those, or they fail to understand what is the, this big opportunity that is ahead of them. So I divided this presentation into 4 buckets. First of all, I want to build on this, we are looking for local information around us. What does it mean from the business point of view? What does being online mean? Where does it start, right? So this is the first component. Secondly, discussing commerce, not particularly e-commerce, because this is not only about closing, fulfilling the order online, but generally everything related to buying products, buying services. And the sad truth is that, if MENA-based or UAE-based companies are not active enough, if the users have demand, someone else is capitalizing on that trend. Someone is eating MENA's lunch, and we will, discuss this as well. The third component would be about, mobile. Yes, we all know, yes, mobile, but what does it really mean from the business point of view, and if your business is mobile ready, or you are kind of this not so yet, but soon very smart business. And the last component is about entertainment, like all this video stuff that is happening, and the especially young people moving away from television, cinema to consume the content online. Now let's start with local. So from the user's standpoint, right? So if they are looking for the local information, so first of all, where are they looking for that? This is the important component, and I marked the the points that we as Google are covering. And also for the record, right? We are Google employees. We fully acknowledge that the world does not, unfortunately, end on Google, right? But we are experts on our solutions, so but just bear with us. This is not, we are not kind of Google obsessed and Google centric, but these are the tools or research and data that we know the best. So first of all, where do you look for local information, right? So this would be like a search engine, map. We constantly use maps for navigational directions. We are looking for, some phone calls. We are using some services just to click and, call business easily. What people are looking for, you can also see several things like hours of operations, right? So are there any reviews, where this business is based? Are there any pictures, right? Should I trust this business that I don't know yet, right? Several boxes that makes it very interesting. But then many businesses actually fail to understand that. And I'm not talking about any commercial solutions, right? The Google, or generally the search, started as this blue links, right? It was enough if your business was listed in the blue organic results with some sort of basic information. Right now, based on the user kind of expectation, the bar is raised a bit higher, right? So the user expectation is actually to see much more information, right? It can be easily, once you publish it online, it can be easily stored, generated, and produced in the nice, digestible manner to, the person that is looking to do business with you, right? From our point of view, we call it Google My Business, right? It's a whole suite of various products that help you to manage your business listing, your location, to understand how many people are looking for you, are trying to call you, several stats and user interfaces that can be used. Now, the situation in Middle East or in US specifically is that businesses completely fail to understand that, right? These pictures are like a map density, right? So how many businesses in general do we see in particular countries? So green is good. I was very tempted when discussing, when preparing that slide, to put this picture like from the Wild West movie, when you have this bush and the wind kind of, flowing on the empty street, because this is exactly the case, right? Abu Dhabi, Dubai, you just go there and there are just, hundreds of thousands businesses here, a lot of business licenses. Most of them you are absolutely not capable of just finding where they are, what are the operating hours, how to call them. It's like, nothing, like complete emptiness. And I'm not talking about some kind of fancy advanced management, and just making sure that basic information about your business are there where people are looking for. And then you shouldn't limit yourself, right? People will be looking for you across various platforms, right? Just make sure whenever, wherever they are looking for you, and if it's free of charge, you just make sure that it's there, right? The second point about commerce. Now, here's the problem, right? When we talk about commerce, as I mentioned initially in the intro, it's not about the last step, right? So just buying stuff online. The whole looking for a product, checking availability, comparing reviews, this is the whole kind of bucket of activities performed online. But most of the MENA-based businesses or UAE-based businesses fail to understand that journey, right? Bear with me on the right-hand side. If there is an internet user based in United Arab Emirates looking for anything related to commerce, like a product, reviews, whatever, only 1/4 of his commercial interest, of his clicks, are captured by region-based companies. So there is 3 times more clicks and interest on the advertising or the paid commercial stuff that is actually going outside to bookings.com, to amazons.com, to a lot of Chinese e-commerce companies that capitalize on that. Right? So there are many businesses that are successful, but still the appetite, the consumption is much higher, or the traffic that we are sending out, that we are exporting, is much higher. It basically means the users are there, they are ready, they are interested, not just specifically about just making sure that they close the deal online, but they would like to find out more. And MENA-based companies fail to deliver that information properly online, which is actually, this is, the guys are eating lunch. And actually, this is not only international American players. We see a lot of traffic going to China, going to India, going across Western Europe, which is not really fair, especially when the searches are performing in Arabic. There is like a very poor presence of MENA companies. Sometimes we forget that North Africa speaks French, right? English is not just Abu Dhabi in Dubai. So this is like uncapitalized opportunity that goes somewhere. And the reason is that, again, most of the businesses fail to understand what really users are looking for. And I have 2 examples for you. So let's imagine that I need a light bulb, right? I live in Dubai. I was looking for a specific model that goes with my lamp. And the only shop that was capable of showing me, hey, we have it kind of on stock, or actually they ran out of stock, but they were telling, occasionally we have it on stock, was IKEA. I'm absolutely sure that between my place and IKEA, there are at least 57 other shops that, this light bulb, it's like a standard light, they have it. They just fail to inform me that it's there. Right? So I will not be circling around the city checking various, I just want to find out if they have the goddamn light bulb. And if their phone number is not active, I have no clue where they are. This is missed opportunity. Right? And it's not really super costly, just if you run a business and if you're not a single service business, just make sure that people understand what are your products, what are your services clearly listed. Just make people aware what can they get in your store. The second example is, the GeoNout watch. If you're not sure what is GeoNout watch, here's my watch. This is GeoNout watch. Actually, this is one of the cheapest watches available in the market, so I will not impress anyone. It's like $10. You can buy it in Decathlon. I do a lot of sports, so I break a lot of watches. That's why, something like that works for me. But the problem is, I buy them by colors. They are coming with different colors, and I wanted to check in the local Decathlon if they have ones, what colors are available. The only resource that I was able to find was the Decathlon Facebook page, which is probably nice. They engage community, they have a lot of likes, but I have no idea if I should drive to Decathlon to buy my goddamn watch because I wanted orange or not. What did I do? Well, I'm originally from Poland. I just ordered it in Poland. It was shipped to my parents' house, and on my next visit, I just, collected it, right? If I knew that such items are available, that would be an easy sell, but most of the businesses just fail to tell me, hey, we have it, what you are looking for. Only the kind of the leaders, the Dubizels, the Souks are, capable, to show a bit more about their inventory. Most of the smaller businesses completely fail to understand that, right? Even if you're selling on Facebook, if you're leveraging Instagram, that's perfectly fine. Just help me, right? Help me understand what exactly you are selling per item. And this is not easy, right? Especially if you have the SKUs, the items that, if you have a lot of them. Right? But it's, it requires some sort of automation, but there will be plenty of people that are specifically looking for the product that you are having. We understand that it's not easy, right? It requires management on some product feeds. It becomes a bit more technical, a bit more complicated, but it's generally worth it. Recently, we had a chat with one of the kind of leading retailers, touching the digital space as well. When we discussed this, how to automatically manage your inventory and make sure if people are looking for you, you're capable of addressing that need. And they were excited about the concept of automating that. And then they realized that, downloading their whole current inventory, like as SKUs, whatever they have right now, is a 3 months, IT project, right? In Amazon, it takes a millisecond and 1 button, right? So they are not really ready for the competition that will be coming on really managing that in bulk. We also see it in terms of automation, right? In some, if you are advertiser, you are using some of our commercial platforms, there are some automated solutions. And I haven't selected the most sophisticated one, but some, we call it auto bidding, right? Automatically helping you to manage your ad spend. Actually, if you compare UAE advertisers with the average of European Union, the utilization of that kind of automated system, allowing you to save on the manual labor, just making sure that everything runs smoothly for you, is like, half of it. When we are talking about a bit more advanced, I'm hesitating to use the advanced word because for every business that relies on the life cycle of the customer on repetitive visit, the concept called remarketing is like a bread and butter, right? But the usage of that feature or that kind of mindset is like 3 times lower than average in European Union. As a consequence, I've mentioned that, so average business in UAE is kind of reaching or answering at least 18 times less user interest, so searches to expressed in search engine than the average company in European Union. And I chose the average because in particular countries this gap is actually much higher, right? So just addressing that presents a tremendous opportunity. And again, it's not really that you as a business you have to sell online. I get it, it's complicated, or the delivery, address systems, I understand, but at least help me to find out that you are selling something. Mobile component. Now, with the kind of penetration of smartphones, like there is this new, or it's not that super new, but the concept of micro moments, right? So the smartphones are changing the way that we are looking for the information. It's right here, right now, on the spot, on the fly. So it changes a bit if you are in marketing the way that you communicate with your consumers. It's no longer your kind of annual big campaign. It's rather understanding how people are interacting with your service and product, what is the decision moment, and trying to be with them on that particular moment. It changes a bit, like have to be much more agile, much more present to really understand and be close to your consumer. And if we see, if we keep reading a lot of reports, again, from Western Europe, from America, mobile, big, important, blah, blah, blah. But then actually UAE, Saudi, or generally Gulf is just a small parsec behind Asia, like Japan's and Korea's in the world. So if the British guys and American guys think it's important for them, it's actually twice more important here. So if your business is not kind of mobile aware, if you're not sure what you're doing in this space, you have no idea if people are and what exactly are looking using their mobile phones, sorry, in 3 years you will be just out of business. That's the sad truth. When you are thinking about how to prepare, what does it mean to be mobile, right? Of course, there are a couple of buckets, and not all of them may be relevant for your particular business, but generally, people are looking for you on their mobile phones. So all this kind of, what is your kind of mobile optimized website, how present you are in various search engine results on the mobile phone, that's quite important. Secondly, all the applications, right? People spend time in app. Do you need your own application? Should you advertise in some applications relevant to your, to your customers? That is potential consideration. Like if people, again, if you are delivering service, product around you, so how to make sure that you advertise, in some sort of proximity when people are around looking for a business like you to make sure that they don't go to competition. And last, of course, mobile is very social across the board. So, what is your social mobile presence? Just one of them is usually not enough. And it's not really about being mobile friendly. Friendly, it's not enough. It has to be your best friend forever because it's not going anywhere. I've used here, a couple of stats. Again, we didn't have the list of your businesses, but feel free just to use this website after and check, what is the quality of your site, in terms of mobile, right? You will have a couple of high-level benchmarks. You can download the full report. Just see it for yourself. Sometimes it's like an eye-opening, and once you download the full report, you see much more details how to optimize. And I, selected a couple of businesses. As you can see, usually the mobile speed is an issue. You can also check, if there is anything that you can improve on desktop. Usually most of the people get some sort of simplified mobile website, but it's really worth checking. And I'm absolutely astonished by number of businesses that completely ignore that part, right? So if there is anything that you will take away, just use this website test. You will thank me later. Now, if there are some people, developers, right, so who work on the applications, there is a big gap, right? So on one hand, we have very mobile savvy users here that download and use a lot of applications. Like I chose the top 24 in Saudi and UAE here, but none of them, or actually one of them in UAE, just one of them is like from here, right? And it's not only about us expats, right? It's natural, but in Saudi Arabia, when you see that they are completely not using any Arabic applications, like what's wrong, right? And it's not that people are not ready to do it. They are downloading, testing, but they are just disappointed by the quality, right? So there is a call to action for those of you who know any developers, right? Guys, really increase the quality of your Arabic kind of applications. There is a strong demand here on the market. And we also see that many of the businesses are not really aspiring to be global app, right? So we are happy, we are small, we are niche, but for developers it's quite important to get the scale to be internationally recognized, because then it really makes a difference. And I think it's not even the quality of the talent, right? Especially in the region, Jordan, Lebanon are quite famous. Egypt is a pretty nice mobile developers hub. So there is a talent here, but this Arabic quality of Arabic apps is clear opportunity as well. Last but not least, YouTube. Now, popular. Users are watching, right? So there is also how businesses are utilizing that user trend. From advertiser point of view, or someone that is considering YouTube as potential advertising platform, there are a couple of arguments that we usually use, or people are using to reassure themselves that they are making a good decision, right? So generally, video consumption is popular, right? So on desktop, it's actually #1 activity. On your mobile phone, here it's WhatsApp, YouTube. In Saudi, it's WhatsApp, YouTube. So generally, this is what people do, right? There is a reach. Everybody is engaged in that. Secondly, on the engagement, actually, again, when we compare Saudi or UAE to United States, the consumption per capita is way higher, right? So even in Americas, they are consuming a lot. Like Saudi Arabia especially is absolutely top in the world in terms of number of videos, number of watch hours consumed per day. Sometimes it's happening on the crazy hours that I don't understand, like overnight, like sleepless nights spent on YouTube. But this is like happening, and people are really engaged, right? It's not just watching and doing something else. They really, really consume that, right? So the message is well heard. And this is a bit more technical, like for those of you who are more used to kind of buying media. But generally, YouTube is compared to TV is kind of way cheaper to reach 1% of the target web. Anyway, the key messages are it's like the reach is there, the people are watching, they are engaged, and it's like cheap. If we go to the next slide, so this message is well heard, but only a fraction of people that should be using that, right? So the left-hand part is like when we take the ecosystem of all the advertisers here in the Middle East that are using television or they are having some sort of video communication, only a tiny fraction of them is actually capitalizing on that, right? And then just getting, as I wrote here, disproportional advantage. If something is cheaper, richer, engaging, and I know about it, I will be kept silent. So all the guys that are kind of stuck to old media are not using that. There is a kind of big gap. There is a big discussion, right? What's the optimal allocation? How much money should I put in TV? How much money should I put in the digital video content? Right? What is the optimal share of wallet, as it's called in, let's say, advertising? And it really differs based on the business, right? But we are working with some of the biggest kind of red part of companies that are experimenting with that, and some of them are allocating 20-25% of their annual TV budget into digital video. It's a lot, right? On average, when we were doing some tests, around 10% makes sense. And there is a huge chunk of companies that still haven't discovered that big opportunity. Now, with the usage, oh, have I skipped one slide? Yes, it's here. Yes, sorry. Yeah, so, yes, okay. So it's not easy, sometimes when I think about, video, television, like it's a complicated, right? A huge crew, very complicated TV ads. Generally, there are a lot of things happening in the digital space to make it much simpler. Right, one of the examples which is not yet launched in UAE, but will be launched soon, is YouTube Director, right? So it's like those of you who are using the kind of this GoPro cameras or any action cameras, there are some templates, right? So, you just shoot as suggested, and it's like relatively easy to generate high quality video. And YouTube Director is specifically a set of templates that you can easily create an ad or an introduction or a business card of your specific business pretty easily. Right now only on iOS in selected countries, but like it's a simplifying way to create a video asset. If you need some help, right, so we are also making sure that the digital agencies that offer professional services here have ability to certify themselves. Right, so if you are looking for external help, look for Google Partners logo, look for YouTube video, advertising specializations. There are people that are just learning a bit more and are capable of helping you better. There is also an opportunity for kind of video creators. And most of the content that is consumed here on the digital media is actually English language. And most of the people are speaking Arabic. Right? And we see that the demand to watch high quality Arabic content is way higher than the current supply. So as I mentioned, YouTube is super popular, everybody's watching, that's fine, but we are still missing a huge chunk of kind of high quality Arabic videos. So if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be a star, if you have something to say in Arabic, feel free to join us. And these are kind of areas where we are investing a lot as well. So we recently announced that in Dubai Media City, we'll be launching a special studio for creators, giving them access to a kind of a lot of top-notch equipment if they are really willing to produce some content. For those of you who feel passionate about video, you can also attend a lot of kind of online trainings, get to know much more how to produce high quality video. This is something that we are really willing to invest. We see a clear need. Now, so 4 ideas or 4 kind of areas of ideas. What is beyond? Well, in 2017, we'll be hearing much more about, machine learning, artificial intelligence, bots, virtual reality, a lot of new cool stuff, right? This is like, very attractive. And of course, all these topics have, again, profound impact on how delivering products, services, experiences, or generally doing business, leveraging digital will look like. But let's not get kind of too quickly to the hype. Right? If your business is not kind of ticking all the boxes from the previous slide, before you jump onto understanding machine learning impact on your business, make sure that you are properly listed on the map. So let's watch this space. in 2-3 years it will be, I will have a presentation telling you what from these areas most of the MENA companies are missing, but we can still kind of just observe with interest, but just like make sure that the basics, the groundwork is completed. My main ask to you, right, whatever your glasses, whatever fluids you are willing to fill it in, just make sure that in 2017 you test at least one new idea, right, experiment, right? I work in Google marketing, and for us, our mantra is always about, pilot and scale. Right? Test, experiment, if it works, make it bigger, right? So I encourage you to to be brave, take at least one idea and try to do something with that. If you find that you require any of our help, we are more than happy to assist you with that. With that, I will hand over to Munia. Thank you very much. I count on you standing, guys, standing ovation.
Thank you, Adam. Oh, okay. Hi everyone. Okay, it's a very high mic. Sorry, just to wake you up, to make sure you still have some energy, hopefully. Even the guys in the back, can you hear me? Okay, I need to get used to this. All right. Good. So, first of all, thank you all for being here. I'm very delighted and very happy to be among you, to be among the young society of Abu Dhabi. And it's really nice to see that we have an audience that is very mixed. So startups, agencies, government, media, everyone, you're welcome. And I hope you like my part of the presentation. So before I start, let me tell you a bit more about who I am and what we do in my team. So as mentioned earlier, my name is Munia Hatem, and I'm actually based in the Google headquarters in Dublin. However, my team manages the Middle East and North Africa, so we are here almost every month. And what we do, we are the business development team. So we actually, every quarter, we select 10 to 15 companies among every industry. And these companies are usually companies that are growing, that are ready to go on digital, that are ready to take the challenge, or even I would say to go on the journey of digital. And sometimes you have companies that approach us saying, we are ready to go ahead. And what we do is that we offer a special program where you are first, you have a consultant from my team that will be sitting with you, understanding your business, what are your objectives, your challenges, and we set up a plan together and a strategy together on how we will help you achieve those objectives. And after that, once you're ready, you will have an account manager from the Google team that will actually help you set up your campaigns, go live, and utilize the Google marketing solution in the most efficient way. So again, as Adam mentioned, our colleague Richa, if you are interested in being part of the marketing and part of the program, actually part of Google marketing team, please feel free to fill out a brief and we'll get in touch with you. All right. So I'll take you over how we actually work with businesses as Google, how we work with businesses in MENA in particular. And what are these solutions that we saw Adam was talking about earlier, saying ticking the basic boxes. And I'll first take you through to make things even a bit more concrete, because I know Google is about making us all dream and think big, but I'd like to take you through an example of how we go and we do proposals to our clients. And my first example will be about Pokemon. So we went to the Pokemon's office, and the first thing we told them is that since the beginning of the meeting, while we were with them, there was already 23,457 searches happening on the platform. So digital pace is fast, and it's happening, and it's not going to wait for you. And what's even faster is the change in consumer behavior. But also, we told them that while we were talking, there were 3,300 searches happening per minute for toys, kids searching for any sort of toys for Pokemon, especially with the new Pokemon app thing happening. But also the way we look at it is that what is 3,300 searches? 3,300 searches are 3,300 people sitting behind their laptop, actively searching for their products, actively looking for Pokemon, and even some of them might have the intent to buy. So if it's not you, Mr. Marketing Manager of Pokemon, that is going to be there in front of your client, then who? Well, his competitor. His competitor is going to be there. And we show them live example about anyone typing on toys, you will have their competitor, Hasbro, being there. If not now, when? So whether you come from a small company that is setting up or big FMCGs, and I come from one of those, I used to be in the UAE for 4 years working with an FMCG. We always hear yeah, later, it's in the plan, we'll do it. In 6 months, digital is, still we have time, let's look at it into later. Well, actually, guess what? No, you don't. You don't have time because MENA is growing and it's very high. Okay, it's okay. MENA is growing, and as you saw with Adam, mobile is growing. People are more and more connected. Consumers are there. Your consumers are there. And if you're not there, well, you're going to be left behind, unfortunately. So, you know, you see people that are searching on the internet. So it's very easy at the end to capture demand. And we can help you, put you in front of these people who are searching for you and who are looking for your product. However, what is more interesting for me is that you need to create demand. And you see that most of the successful companies in our industries, they sometimes create demand for something we didn't even think we needed, we didn't even think we wanted. And this specifically applies for startups. So we see the UAE is a great hub for new ideas, for startups. And you might have ideas that people don't even know could exist. So how can people search for something they don't know about? And this is where our role comes in as Google to help you create demand. And how do we do this? Well, we do it by truly understanding your audience. So what does it mean, understanding your audience? Understanding your audience means knowing what they do online. What do they browse? What website do they look at? What videos do they watch? What do they do before they go to sleep, staying 1 hour on their mobile? We all do it before going to bed. So this means really truly understanding your audience. But really, when we think about it, the big question is, how do you understand your audience? So as we said earlier, the easiest way is, so people are searching on Google search and we can capture this demand. So we can tell you that, okay, this is your audience. But we know for a fact that there might be millions of people that could be potential customers for you, but that are not directly searching for you. So how do you capture these guys? These guys that might be your customers, your consumers, but are not currently searching for you. Well, Google has the solution. And the solution is that people actually show their true intent, so who they really are, through dozens of very tiny moments every day. And this is what we call in the Google narrative micro moments. And this is why what Adam mentioned earlier, if you remember on his slide, it was, I want to know moment, I want to do moment, I want to search moments. And what Google does is that it gathers all these tiny moments and create a clearer picture for you to tell you exactly who your audience is. So I'll show you a video now that will explain this micro moment idea better for you. Unfortunately, we don't have sound, we have a speaker, so hopefully you'll be able to listen to the video. Apparently not. Don't reveal my slides. So these are the micro moments, and I'm sure we all live them every day. So I'd like here just to emphasize on the fact that we always think that Google knows its audience by search, but it's much, much more than this. We gather information through a lot of non-search behaviors to help you know who really your audience is. So here are a few examples of non-search behavior that help you identify your audience. Checking emails, typing on Google search, considering purchase. So for example, when you go on an e-commerce website, you add to the cart and then you leave. We all do that. Map search, reading article, reviews on Google's partner's website, watching video. So all of these moments will actually add up to create your audience. So what we do is that we can match your business with people that are intending to buy from you. And we do it through 3 of our main channels, if you want. So people that are directly searching for you, and this is the easy part. So for Pokemon, for example, people typing in Pokemon, Pokemon Go, Pokemon cards. For people who match your target customer, so people or parents who are searching for toys, for example, people that are watching cartoons, so we know that these guys have kids. They might not know that Pokemon has games, but when we target them, then this is how we're creating demand. Or even people reading, watching relevant content, so on partner's website, on Pokemon updates, on kids' website. All right, so we spend the first part then looking at how do we know our audience and how do we match our audience? How do we match your business to the audience? Okay, now we have your audience. What do we do with that? So what we do with that goes into 3 big phases. The first one is that we will reach them across all devices. And as you know, Google has the biggest reach in the world across all of its platforms, more than over 1 billion users across the globe. Second, once we reach your audience across these devices, we impact them. And we impact them at the moments that matter, at those tiny, tiny moments when you're in the bathroom and your hairdryer breaks and you go to search for new hairdryer in town. This is when they will make the decision. We will put you there. We will put you just in front of them. And finally, and the most important part, I would say, is give you measurable results. So I don't know for the ones of you who are here familiar with the Google platform or ever worked on digital, it's very easy to always say you got X clicks and you got Y impressions and this is your click-through rate. Okay, it's all very nice, but go and explain that to your top management who's not so modern, then he will tell you, okay, give it to me in terms of number and what's really the return on investment that you're getting me. I gave you $5,000, what did you really give me? And this is where we always usually agree, first of all, what is success for you and what is success for the client. And we just really make sure that at the end of the day, we are both aligned on the metrics of success and try to concretize them in the most logical way. And I have a slide on that later on. We can look into it. So first part, reach. So when I said reach earlier, I meant reaching the largest part of the population. So these are only the top 3 of the Google solution, but you can see first with Google search, more than 75% reach of the online population, more than 1 billion users globally. YouTube, largest video destination with more than 74% average reach of the UAE online population, both on as an average of both mobile and desktop. And finally, the Google Display Network. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Display Network, so it's simply a network of websites that is in collaboration with Google and that allows us to place ads on their website. And Google is in partnership with more than 95% of all the websites in the world and in the GCC. Also, so top websites and again, more than 1 billion users. So when you're with Google, I don't think you should worry about reach because we can reach almost whoever you want. It's about reaching the right people at the end of the day. Second, impact. So your ad on the websites and on the tools that most people use. So these at the bottom are the moments we were just talking about. So the I'm searching for through Google search, that I want to watch through YouTube. I want to know through partners' website. I want to buy what's in my inbox. So all of these are tools with which Google will help you be present just in front of your consumer in these tiny micro moments we're talking about. And what I think is even more beautiful in this is that you actually give users the choice. All right, so it's not intrusive. And if, let's say, you are targeting someone, but they are just not interested or they don't want to see it, then they just don't have to click on it. Easy. And as an advertiser, we don't charge you for someone who's not interested. So Google only charges you when someone actually engages with your app. So whether they watch the video or they click on the ad. So for example, on YouTube, if they skip the ad or even if they don't watch the full ad, Google will never charge you. They only charge you when they watch the entire video. Finally, the last part, which is measurement. So measurement, back to the results part. So all of this is very beautiful, but if we cannot measure it and give an accurate study of ROI, then we didn't do anything. And I guess most of you here should be familiar with the traditional marketing funnel, right? The one that starts with awareness, consideration, and ends with the action. A lot of the time we only think that we can measure for e-commerce or for websites that actually have a path. So, okay, we got this purchase. However, Google has developed a lot of tools to help you even measure brand awareness. So we can tell you that yesterday you had this level of awareness in the market, and after your campaigns, your level of brand awareness moved from X to Y. Even not only brand awareness, but ad recall to see if your ad was impactful, even consideration. So we will have surveys on YouTube asking your clients, okay, now that you've seen the ad, would you actually consider going to the store and buying it? Or would you consider calling this business for a service? So for the first two parts on the left, which is the upper part of the funnel, for the awareness and the consideration, so people see you and people think about you. So this is where you will grow your future customer database, and you will have your new clients coming in, and we can measure that for you. But we can also measure the second part, which is people buying from you and people becoming loyal to you. So, I mean, overall, what will happen is that what's beautiful about digital is that it's live. Okay, so you get the data live, everything is updated on the spot. And everything can be optimized. There is nothing set in stone. If we feel that something is not working, we stop it, we adjust it, we fix it. And even if we want to play along the funnel, so if you feel you've done a strong branding campaign and you've done enough awareness, then we reduce this and increase it at the bottom of the funnel. So it's really, we will be a team in this, and there's a lot of fine-tuning and optimization that will be done at all times to make sure you are reaching your objective. So after this, I'd like to take you through some success stories, especially that we have this impression that always Google is so far from the region. So we've gathered a few case studies local to the region, except for the Domino's Pizza. I got a bit excited about it. It's not in the GCC, but the two others afterwards are in the GCC. So hopefully, can you hear the sound of the videos in the back? Half? Okay, good. If we can play it, please, Richa.
Domino's Europe started selling digitally about 12 years ago with a traditional website structure, and about 7 or 8 years ago that really started to pick up. We started to go mobile 4 years, 5 years ago, and in the last 2 or 3 years that growth has been almost exponential. So something like 65% of all Domino's sales now in the UK coming through a digital channel, and about a third of that is mobile. So over 20% of our total transactions are now mobile. And that volume is pretty much doubling year on year. Over the last 5 years, we've gone from 20% of our marketing budget being spent in the digital space to 55% this year. What I can tell you is that 55% of our budget is now measured in a specific granular way. So, for example, we know exactly how many customers are coming into our new Android app, and we know the amount that we're spending to drive them to that app. and we're able then to measure a direct return on investment in a way that we couldn't. And that's on over 50% of our budget. Meanwhile, the old 45%, which is more traditional media, TV, outdoor, radio, was still kind of guessing what return rates we're getting. So the way the strategy has changed over time is, first of all, incrementalist improvement to the website, but in the last year, a complete rebuild from scratch. So for the first time in 12 years, we have a whole new website in beta at the moment, and it's going to be really exciting to see the results as they start to come through. As you would expect in the mobile space, a lot of work has gone on, firstly to optimize the website for mobile channels, and then 3 years ago we started to build dedicated apps for all of the different platforms, including Android. From a purchase payment methodology, obviously having preloaded price or method of paying is really, really important for us. And so we've had to develop that very rapidly. We didn't need it before with traditional web selling, but now we really do have to recognize the customer when he or she comes back and make the transaction as painless as possible. Some analysts have asked me, aren't you worried about losing market share as the world goes more and more mobile and more digital? What we're actually finding is the opposite, which is that if you invest the time and the effort in a fantastic website, fantastic apps, capturing payment data, making it a personalized experience, you're more likely to hold on to customers than you used to. I'm enormously excited about what is going to be possible with smartphones in the delivery pizza category. We're going to start building a much more personalized one-on-one relationship with customers where we listen to them as well as talking to them. We're in a market that evolves very, very rapidly. Several times a year we have major new product development going on. And the folks who are better at developing relevant products for consumers, whether it's new core pizza offerings or side orders or desserts or whatever, the people who are smarter at understanding what customers want. For example, spotting new food trends coming quickly. You can turn that new food trend into a new product more rapidly than competition, just leave them further and further behind. So I'm very excited over the next year or two to see us turn it into a two-way dialogue with consumers. We're starting to do that now, where we get them involved in designing products, pricing products, naming them, and then even helping us trial them in market before we roll them out. And mobile just makes that much more of a personalized one-on-one experience.
I mean, what I like about this example is that it's just pizza, right? So the guy sells pizza, and it's you wouldn't think that he needs this sophisticated strategy. However, when he just became mobile friendly, that's it. Just became mobile friendly, created a website that is mobile friendly, where it's easy to do orders from, created an app, he managed to triple his business. So back to what Adam was saying, people are on mobile, they spend their time on mobile, and if you're not on mobile, you'll be missing out on this opportunity. So let's take a look at the next example, which is gonna come in a minute. Yes, thank you. So, just escape. Sorry. Yes. All right. So this is a case study with Mobily. Most of you should know it in Saudi Arabia. And it was actually filmed in our Google offices in Dubai. So let's take a look at this.
يستخدم وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي كأكثر الدول في العالم استخدام الويب خصوصا عن طريقها. لأن لازم نعمل طريق كأس العالم. كأس العالم يعني كرة يعني شباب قصادية يعني
شيء كبير زي موبايلي للأمانة يعني أنا أعتقد في هذا الشيء إنه سبب نجاح البرنامج إنه يعطينا الحرية في الكتابة والكرييت.
طريقة يوسف كانت ايام لعب الحاره قبل 20 سنه فكانت الناس تتذكر كيف كانوا يلعبون. هذه الشغلات اللي حببت الناس في الفيديو وزادت من المشاهدات وزادت من انتشار الفيديو بين الناس. احنا في الموبايل استخدمنا خاصيه الفيديو في احنا نوصل او نعمل ندفع اعلانات ساعه الفيديو مجرد 5 للوصول شيء مع الوقت الناس صارت تشارك. النتائج الحقيقيه تفوقت على كل النتائج المتوقعه. كان عندنا 23 مليون فيو، كان عندنا 113 سنه مشاهده. نتائج البحث او عدد مرات البحث عنه في يوتيوب ما كان قبل. كان عندنا 11000 سبسكرايبر على اليوتيوب قبل المشاهده الخاصه، حاليا بنتكلم في 240,000 سبسكرايبر. اكيد يعني المشاهده الخاصه تجاوز الوصول الى الحديث المتوقع يعني الجرائد في السعوديه في دول الخليج بشكل عام. والمفاجاه المذهله بالنسبه لنا ان احنا بقينا رقم واحد in terms of YouTube channel subscribers في مجال التليكوم اوبريتورز في العالم. We had a big success with YouTube in 2014 واعتقد في 2015 ان شاء الله يكون نجاح.
Cool. So this one was about a case study on YouTube. So really YouTube is the platform for video. Let's take a look at Virgin Mobile. It was also filmed in our Dubai offices, I think, yes.
Saudi Arabia is the first operation for Virgin Mobile in the GCC.
The audience for Virgin Mobile Saudi is the hyper-connected Saudi youth. There's 73% smartphone penetration in that market, and over 83% mobile penetration. So creating a differentiated product that speaks directly to this type of market was critical for us. Most importantly, we wanted to create a true online to offline conversion opportunity for acquisition.
We put the number booking in the center of our acquisition strategy because we believe that it's more important to choose your number rather than just having a SIM card and use our services.
The way number booking works is pretty simple. A Virgin customer comes to our website, they have the opportunity to select a special number, whether it's their birthday or a repetitive number based on their preference. They book it, they get an email verification and an SMS verification. Once they go to a store and pick up a Virgin Mobile SIM, they send their unique reference number and dynamically reactivate that new number in the back end immediately. Digital was absolutely critical for this campaign. We had to drive traffic to our website in order to create a conversion opportunity for our numbers and then drive people through to collect their SIM in the store. We allocated 90% of our budget to digital for this particular campaign for the sole reason that our target market segment, the Saudi youth, is highly connected and always online.
The redeem rate was 30%. And with 100 customers book their favorite mobile numbers, 30 went to the store and redeemed the numbers.
Google advertising performed extremely well for us, delivering a 15 times return on investment for Virgin Mobile. Google search was by far the best performing channel with a 35 times return on investment, which is exceptional. It's incredible that the Virgin Mobile average subscriber costs were 25% lower using digital platforms for this company. If you look at our total traffic volume, 95% is from mobile and tablet, and that really justifies our decision to go mobile first with a responsive UI and UX on our digital platforms. I think that by focusing on the customer experience and on innovation, we've been able to create a compelling product that actually does make mobile better.
All right, so now you know if you want to buy a mobile number that has your birthday, how you can do it for just 10,000 dirhams or Saudi riyal. All right, so okay. So just before I open up for Q&A, so we'll all be here to answer your questions. I just want to just make sure that you understand very quickly what we do, and at the end of the day, we are like compared to other regions, we are not a very big team on MENA. So if you will be working with Google, you'll probably be working with myself or someone from our team. And it's true, I work in the Dublin headquarters, but I mean, I'm from this region and I belong to this region. And my mission is to really digitize MENA. And so we really are here for you, and we want to support you and support your businesses grow. And at the end of the day, we do have several types of packages. I know packages sounds like a very salesy term, sorry. But just to make sure that what you can expect from working with the Google team is that at least, of course, you have different types of levels that you can be with in the Google team. However, at least with the starter package, you get access to consultants. So Google's world can be a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of products. The platform might not be very straightforward to use. So you will get access to a consultant that will help you set up a strategy for your business based on your objectives and overcome your challenges. And then after that, you'll get account management services that will help you do campaign planning, support, monitoring, optimization, send you reports, and of course it's free of charge because you're working with Google. But I mean, this is the type of support you'll get from our Google MENA team. And of course, the more you grow, the more we graduate you into other programs within Google that will give you even closer and closer attention and support. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. We are going to open up for questions, myself and Adam, if you want to join me. So just feel free to ask any question. No question is
Okay, I've got a mic here. Is it?
Yeah, and I just want to add, so we try to cover some content. You came with the expectations. So if in case you have questions not related to those presentations, anything at all, feel free, and we are more than happy to at least try to address some of them.
First question, can we distribute the deck?
We will check that and
Okay,
share with
sure.
you what is shareable.
You can send it to me if you're allowed to, and then I'll distribute.
And sorry, because a lot of this kind of content we will find the best way. It's like publicly available, various researches and everything. So
Understood.
we'll just make sure that it's like cleared, and Bernard will distribute with that.
So my first question is a bit self-interested. So for my Google Ads campaign, which I've just started, and I'm a digital neophyte, but so I started a Google Ad campaign a couple days ago, and when I look at my results, 97% of my Google sources are Google partner sites, and I don't understand what that means.
All right. So exactly. So what we saw earlier is that the three most popular platforms of advertising for Google are our own Google search platform. So the ad that you see on top when you type in something on Google search. The second is YouTube, and the third one is our partner, which is the Google Display Network. So the Google Display Network is actually a network of websites with whom we are in partnership with, and it's more than 90% of all the websites around the world. So it's very probable if you advertise on the display network that you will see an ad on our partner's website. And usually how do you know which websites and how do you control it? It's all based on the targeting. So as an example, if we go back to the Pokemon website, if they were to set up a display network campaign, they would tell me, I want to target all the mothers, let's say, that live in Abu Dhabi that are in between the age of, let's say, 30 to, let's say, 25 to 50 years old. So what our system does, based on all these tiny micro moments, we identify what are the websites that are visited by this mother in this age. And let's say we identify it's Mom's World, it's toys.com, and so and so. And the ad will be placed, the ad of this client or of Pokemon will be on these partners' website.
Okay, all right.
Clear. Any other questions? Yes.
Can we just pass the mic down?
Well, hi, thank you for this informative meetup. In fact, I really appreciate sharing this knowledge with us. No need for the mic.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you for this informative meetup, I'm saying, and it's really helpful. My question is that I work in the affiliate industry. I don't have this 9 to 5 job. I work on the internet from home. So I wonder if these options of advertising with Google will support such people, this kind of marketing. So, the affiliate marketing, as you know, is I promote other stuff, like products that I don't own, and I take commission after the sales happen. So this is really important if it is support, because the affiliates program or the affiliate marketers now are being kicked off every platform almost. So most of the advertising efforts that I use is the e-zines, like working with the e-zine marketing, email campaign, email marketing, solo ads. But when it comes to Google, I feel like stuck. Does it help with this?
Yeah, so you mean your business is almost like an agency business, right? Where you promote...
Yeah, the affiliate business.
Yeah, so exactly, we do have a team. So we have teams that work with direct clients, so on a one-to-one, and we have teams that work with agencies as well, or affiliate businesses. And you can definitely find an account manager within Google that would be able to assist you with that. So, and you can use actually the regular Google platforms with that. So also if you want, so for those of you again who would like us to contact them, you can always pick up just a brief from Richa over here, and we'll make sure that someone from the team reach out to you.
There is affiliates, generally companies hiring, businesses as our friend from the back to run their companies. Actually, the reason why most platforms block it is specific requests from the affiliate owners. So they are running their own campaigns. They don't want to compete with their affiliates. So, we can just take it offline to identify what specifically, because this is not sometimes a platform decision, sometimes it's an advertiser decision that, especially if they are running on a specific platforms.
You mean the product owner or the affiliate?
Please come afterwards, this is like we are more than happy to discuss in details.
Another question?
Since a lot of us here are from the startup community in general, and those who are starting their business, let's assume, I don't know, a web-based or an app-based kind of business, what would be the top first 3 steps you would advise them to do where Google can help them grow to get traction early on?
I would suggest you not to do any paid advertising initially, right? You need to build your business, you need to test it, right? I will just make sure that people are aware, so leverage all the kind of everything that is kind of free and can make more people to use your service. That's the generally generate the kind of the free kind of earn whatever, right? Don't pay, right? You can easily, especially if you have an early investor, you can burn your money easily, but just focus on your product. Secondly, kind of testing environment from my perspective is super critical, right? So all this kind of is my website, who are the people, what are they, if they have some disabilities, what languages are they speaking, right? Is it good quality, is not good quality, right? That kind of testing mobile, optimizing for that would be probably the second step. And if you're ready to go live, just again make sure that you can be easily found, right, across mobile devices, desktop devices. Don't forget that part, right? And then if you are kind of already have a kind of proven, what is the value of each and single of your customers, right? Then it's potentially the moment that you need to start thinking about, how do I get scale? How can I attract more customers if you're ready to service them? Right? I wish you kind of to be super kind of popular, but the biggest problem for most of the startups is the moment when they kind of rapidly scale, right? So if you are successful, if you don't have kind of backend systems that are allowing you to go fast quickly, right, this would be a very dangerous moment. We've seen a lot of businesses that, in the first round got a huge investment, they burned it immediately in the kind of advertising, right? And then they are completely out of business because they are stuck, their business kind of processes fail, and this is a critical moment. So just take it easy, focus on the quality, understand your user, and then kind of take it from there. That will be my advice.
Thank you.
screenshots and pass it on to us on your way out. So it's not something to take, it's just for your details. And if you want to attach a visiting card, please feel free to do that and give it to us. We can get it done immediately.
Actually, I have a question to you, dear audience. So who thinks that, he does everything and, he's Mr. or Mrs. Perfect?
Mic is working fine.
Thank you for honesty. Just you. Gonna be not you. So who of you is like, do you have some ideas to test in 2017, regardless if it's like Google specific, something else, like in your professional life? Is there anything new that you are willing to try? No one? Yes? Of course. It's not that obvious, honestly. Some people are just, happy to go with the flow and, what I'm doing is already great. I'm not willing to experiment. Are you working in the companies or organizations that kind of, promote this, experimenting mode? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, well, you're shy. Yeah. Well, the business that you are working, so if you come with the idea, hey guys, let's test something new.
So we have a question here, please.
Yeah. Maybe let's what's that after that?
Yeah. Rigidness.
Actually, I have a question. Sorry. I have a question regarding video marketing. So, most of the website, they do AdSense. So I would like to ask, is there any way we can advertise our website through videos? For example, we have a website, so we can advertise it through YouTube. Like it describes all website information and convert them to videos. Then we can make content, through YouTube from our own websites. I'm not sure if you're getting my point or no. For example, I have a website. I want to advertise on YouTube, but I don't have any tools, any software to make videos. So you have any tools for that?
Yes. So we can help you. We have a lot of, for example, app developers or websites, right? That don't have particular video assets, so they are just asking, what should I use if I would like to use YouTube, but I don't have video ready. We can help with that.
Like the content, video contents.
Yeah.
Creating a video on autopilot, not by hand or by broadcasting yourself.
So we will have the YouTube director that Adam showed, but it's still not in the UAE. What we currently have is a tool for apps, for example. So anyone who has an app and that want to advertise it on YouTube, we have some internal tools that can help generate some autopiloted videos. However, if you have a website which is not an app, we can recommend some video production agencies that can do it for you. So we have a lot of partners that can actually assist you with that while we have the tool that will come to the UAE.
Can I just, please fill in your contact details and the specific, like a website and the request, and we are more than happy to follow up.
I also have a Jillian.
Okay, I'll use this one, thanks. I attended a very similar presentation by Google about 5 years ago. It said virtually not all the same things. I mean, you've given different advice, but the message was the same, which was digital marketing is slow to take off here. Why is it so slow to take off here? Even 5 years on, it's still a struggle.
Yes, I can. I would use the example of the YouTube, right? So the early adopters are very fast of taking the advantage, and the middle-sized, especially middle-sized companies and the smaller companies are kind of, ignoring that trend as long as they can. Maybe it's coming from the rigidness of the, decision makers, right? So once you kind of can connect the dots, you can see the results. Like we see this huge disparity, right? So the top 100 companies here in the region are actually pretty advanced, and on various occasions they are kind of beating their international competitors in kind of digital savviness and the adoption of the tools. You saw this kind of cases from Saudi Arabia, right? So we are the best, telecom operators. So the big guys or advanced guys are taking all the credit, are eating all the cherries on the cake, whereas the middle pack, right, is like, failing to really adopt it and embrace it, putting themselves at risk. That would be, the key concern. And that might be the reason. That's why, we are trying to make sure that not only kind of Procter and Gamble's of the world know how to do this stuff, but how do we enable kind of various businesses to really kind of start thinking about digital. Sometimes it is the moment when you need to consider like your kind of more advertising space. Sometimes it's just ticking the kind of small boxes of kind of free tools, online presence, just check and experiment, But it really also changes. You have a question? Let's.
Here. Can you pass the mic, please?
I would like to ask a question, a comparison between a persona, Mr. I can do everything. I can make a YouTube video. I load it on the YouTube. I can subscribe in a service for search engine, and I can select the Google search to be my search engine, and whatever. Now, this is a scenario of a case of a person having business. Now, what is the difference between this approach and coming to you? How much will be the figures of the search and the results and the people how to find this business if I do it this way, or I come and get some advice from you, or you do something for me from the Google marketing team? This is my question. You got my point?
I'm not sure if so whatever.
Just to be sure, do you mean like what is the difference if you actually implement all of this together? If you do it alone versus doing it directly with the marketing team? Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, working with the marketing team, what we will do is that we will train you and teach your people in your business to eventually do it on their own. So AdWords, which is the platform on which the advertising work, is a platform that anyone can use any day. You just create an account and you can do this on your own. The advantage of doing it with Google is that you'll get the expertise from the Google team and account managers that have done this for years and years. So it's just that you get the expertise, you get the tips on how to best create your campaigns, you get the optimization, and you get the learning from the team. But at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping you, of course, to do it on your own if you want.
Actually, we try to make everything available like free of charge or learning. So if you are capable of doing everything perfectly yourself, that's the ideal scenario. Occasionally, you can check if there is anything. Most of the cases, companies are considering if to do it themselves in-house or to hire a professional agency, right? Some kind of vendor to help them with that. And this is the trickier part. So how to know how to trust the company that you are hiring. Are they really capable of doing? And we know many agencies here in the region. Some of them are good, some of them are very good, some of them are aspiring and way to go. So this is really like a difference. We try to have some sort of certification program, to really make sure that agencies are participating in some trainings. They are increasing their qualifications. So this is what we can do, but the rest is up to you, right? If we have the office in Dubai right now. Over 100, I don't remember exactly, but it's like.
Sorry, Munia, you were saying something about every quarter you choose 10 to 15 teams and you work with.
Yes.
Can I know the criteria and how is it chosen? Because this is a group of entrepreneurs and startups, and not all of us have that much of a budget. And I would also like to know, what would it cost us to work with you, please?
Okay, very good question. So how it works is that we usually select those businesses because people don't know that there are actually Googlers that are here ready to help you. So we select the businesses usually based on their readiness to go on digital. So if it's a startup, for example, we look at we also speak to the startups. See, are you ready to go on digital? When you go on digital, you need to already have tested your platform, make sure everything's working, make sure you are ready to receive the traffic that Google will get you. So at least you need to have those basics ready. Then you need to have certain levels of investment. So usually the threshold can be as low as an investment of, let's say, $3,000 a month. So even if your investment is as low as $3,000 or $5,000 a month, you can contact us and we offer for free the account management services and the consultancy services. So this is to put a bit like a range to how it works, but we also work with the Procters and Gambles and the Unilevers, but we also serve the community and work with a lot of startups as well.
Thank you.
May I add to that, we have multiple service teams at Google, right? So it's not just Munia's team; they have a kind of a special program. But whatever is the size of the business, there is some sort of bucket or a service team that can help you depending on your need. Of course, the level of service would vary across the segments. But if you are not sure what to do, you would like to try something, we can try to connect you with the correct service team at Google, because there are many of them.
So when I come to the MENA team, for the marketing team, and they would go like, oh, we also have these other tools we would consider. Okay, perfect, thank you.
It's easier when you're just saying, this is what I do, this is what I need, right? We can check what is your plan and then make sure that you are picked up by the right people. And we have just, it's not only about people that work in Dubai office, because many of our colleagues work in Dublin across various teams. We have some teams in Morocco, actually, that also help us. So there are several people involved in the operation here.
Makes sense. Thank you.
You make a good job, a great job for searching by text and image. But what about voice, searching by voice?
Oh, it
like
works
for example,
nicely.
if I have like blockchain, it's a new technology in money transfer and something. I want to search about it. I cannot search about it if I find it just in YouTube. So any video outside YouTube, I cannot find it. I just find the YouTube videos.
Okay, so this is like, voice search. You mean that you are searching using your voice, so you're speaking to your phone and
yeah,
you
also,
want to look for?
if you make like something in the future, you can make a voice search. So I'm in car and I driving, I want to search about something, I just say it and Google give me the videos or the songs or anything.
You know what? This works fast. Consider it solved. It's called voice search, and you can actually easily activate on your mobile phone.
Yeah, it's not easy, I know that.
No, it's available, and it's actually, English is very good, and we are actually quite proud by the quality of Arabic as well.
No, I mean not just to say it. I mean the word itself inside a video.
Okay, so you would like to search, the audio file.
Yeah.
Right. That's yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. This is something that I cannot promise that we will solve in
Sorry, I don't
2007.
want to make it
but actually,
difficult, but really it's good.
Honestly, it's a part of, I showed this on the last slide, this kind of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and we are using for us, it's like a Google Assistant. Right, so how do you talk to can you, enable you talking to your phone, and we recognizing what you really need, right? So what are my videos with, about surfing?
Google good enough.
This is like partially included.
Thank you.
Right, so you will see some development, but it's not like an easy fix. It's more like a process.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Because we have, Salim also wanted to have a quick chat with you guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening to all of you. My name is Pranay, and we are mainly education solution provider. So I have gone couple of time to the Google for Education, which I found interesting. So I just want to know like how it helps in education sector. For example, I would like to give example, as I told you that we are an education solution provider. So our main business comes by selling the education lab equipments or education digital content to any curriculum. So how Google can help for these things? If someone is looking for, so how you will track it and how you can communicate it?
Yeah, I think it would be good. Best we have a colleague in Dubai office that works specifically on Google for Education packages. right? So working with a lot of kind of school organizations here, to discuss various solutions. So it would be probably the best to connect you with her. So just please leave us your business card with a quick note that this is about aggregation. I will try to follow up.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. Salim. Oh, come. Maybe there will be a question for you.
I was just going to present something that we do, which is I'm responsible of the developer relationship in the Middle East and North Africa. And we have a lot of programs to help your development team. I know we focus on the business, but I also want to stress that we are also trying to bring more technology to the region. So we did like a couple events in Dubai for like progressive web app, UX masterclass, like how do you improve your apps. So I think if you have a development team in here, we are going to bring more technology and more like education parts so you can improve your apps, you can improve your website. So I just wanted to highlight that. I'll be leaving my business card, so if you have other questions about technology, let me know.
Oh, it's an advice for startup. Make sure you leave your business card with Salim.
We'll do that. You mentioned about the network part. So how do you become part of that network, and what is the operating/revenue model for something like that?
Revenue model is revenue sharing model. So whatever kind of, if we have advertisers, we share the revenue between us. It's like an automated process. And how to become one, you just register, right? So again, this is like online tools. If you are interested, you just let us know via various forms, and you can just start plugging in your ads. And we have also service teams that are working directly with publishers interested in monetizing their assets, their content. Right? The exact team depends on what is actually your content, right? So it's a bit different if you are producing a lot of YouTube videos. It's a bit different if you have a website and you are willing to monetize it. But there are also kind of teams dedicated to MENA that support that cooperation, that business opportunities as well. So I'm more than happy to connect you with one of them. Calling once. Calling twice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I think that's a good sign to wrap it up. Thank you, Adam, Munya, everyone at Google for a very informative session. And thank you for everyone for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to stick around for a little while. Yeah, feel free to stick around and network, and we'll see you next time. Test.